Have you ever wondered why you can remember what happened last week, last year, or even when you were 5 years old, but you can't remember being a baby? Think about it for a moment. You spent the first few years of your life experiencing everything for the very first time. Your first smile, your first steps, your first words. You saw colors, faces, animals, and the entire world with fresh eyes. Yet somehow, almost all of those memories are gone. It's as if the first chapter of your life was completely erased. But why? Where did those memories go? Did they disappear forever, or are they still hidden somewhere deep inside your brain? The answer is far more fascinating than most people realize. Every human begins life as a learning machine. Babies absorb information at an incredible speed. They learn to recognize faces, understand emotions, identify voices, and eventually learn language. In fact, babies learn more in their first few years than many adults learn in decades. This creates a strange mystery. If babies are constantly learning, they must be forming memories. Otherwise, how would they learn anything at all? Yet when we become adults, we can't remember those early experiences. Scientists call this phenomenon infantile amnesia, and it has puzzled researchers for over a century. For a long time, people believed babies simply couldn't create memories. It seemed like the most obvious explanation. If no memories were formed, there would be nothing to remember later. However, modern research has shown that this idea is wrong. Babies absolutely can form memories. Studies have demonstrated that infants can remember faces, sounds, and even certain experiences for extended periods of time. Some experiments showed that babies remembered specific actions weeks or even months after learning them. Clearly, memories are being created. So the real question isn't whether babies form memories. The real question is why those memories become inaccessible later in life. To understand this, we first need to understand how memories work. Your brain isn't like a video camera recording every second of your life. Instead, memories are created through complex networks of neurons. Whenever you experience something important, certain brain cells connect with each other. The stronger these connections become, the easier it is to recall the memory later. One of the most important structures involved in this process is a part of the brain called the hippocampus. The hippocampus acts like a memory organizer. It helps transform experiences into long-term memories that can be stored and retrieved later. The interesting part is that when you're born, your hippocampus is still under construction. Although it exists, it hasn't fully matured yet. Imagine trying to save important files on a computer that's still being built. Some information might be stored, but the system isn't stable enough to preserve everything efficiently. Scientists believe this immature hippocampus plays a major role in infantile amnesia. During the first years of life, the brain is developing at an extraordinary pace. New neurons are being created constantly. Connections are forming and disappearing every day. The brain is essentially rebuilding itself over and over again. While this rapid growth is amazing for learning, it may also disrupt older memories. Think of it like renovating a house while you're living inside it. Every room is being modified, walls are moving, and new structures are constantly added. In that chaos, important belongings can easily get misplaced. Similarly, as the infant brain rapidly changes, memories formed during those early years may become difficult to access because the neural pathways that originally stored them have been altered. Researchers studying mice discovered something remarkable. Young mice experienced the same memory loss pattern seen in humans. However, when scientists used special techniques to reactivate certain neural pathways, memories that seemed lost could actually be recovered. This suggests that some early memories may not be completely erased. Instead, they may simply become buried beneath layers of brain development. Another important factor is language. Most of our memories are tied closely to words. When you think about your childhood, you often describe memories using language. You remember conversations, names, explanations, and stories. But babies don't have language yet. They experience the world in a completely different way. Imagine trying to remember a dream you had years ago without being able to describe it using words. It would be extremely difficult. Many scientists believe that because babies haven't developed language, their memories are stored differently from the memories we create as older children and adults. As our language abilities develop, the brain begins organizing memories in a new format. Earlier memories may no longer fit into the system we use for recalling experiences. There is also the question of identity. Adults remember events partly because they have a sense of self. You know who you are. You understand that you existed yesterday, exist today, and will exist tomorrow. This continuous identity helps organize experiences into a personal life story. Babies, however, are still developing this sense of self. They don't yet think of themselves as individuals with a long-term personal history. Without a strong sense of identity, experiences may not become integrated into the autobiographical memory system that allows us to recall events from our lives. Imagine reading random pages from a book without knowing the main character. The events might seem disconnected and difficult to follow. Similarly, early memories may lack the personal framework needed for long-term retrieval. Culture may also influence how far back people can remember. Studies have found that individuals from different cultures often report different ages for their earliest memories. In cultures where parents frequently discuss past events with children, people tend to remember slightly earlier experiences. This suggests that talking about memories helps strengthen them and make them easier to access later. Yet even with these cultural differences, almost everyone experiences infantile amnesia. Most adults cannot remember anything before the age of 2 or 3, and only a few memories survive from ages 3 to 5. Everything before that period remains largely hidden. But if these memories are inaccessible, does that mean they no longer affect us? Not at all. In fact, early experiences may shape our lives more than we realize. Even though you can't consciously remember being a baby, your brain still carries the effects of those experiences. The way your caregivers treated you, the environment you grew up in, the emotions you experienced, and the relationships you formed all helped shape your personality and behavior. These influences become embedded in the brain even when specific memories cannot be recalled. Think of it like the foundation of a building. Once the building is complete, you rarely see the foundation. It's hidden beneath everything else. Yet the entire structure depends on it. Your earliest experiences may be invisible to your conscious mind, but they continue supporting much of who you are. Some researchers even wonder whether fragments of infant memories occasionally resurface in subtle ways. Certain smells, sounds, or emotions can sometimes trigger feelings that seem familiar even though we can't explain why. While this doesn't mean we're consciously remembering infancy, it suggests that traces of those experiences may still exist somewhere within the brain. There are rare cases of people claiming to remember events from before age 2, but such memories are extremely difficult to verify. Human memory is surprisingly unreliable. Over time, imagination, family stories, photographs, and repeated conversations can blend together until we become convinced we remember something we actually reconstructed later. This makes studying infant memories particularly challenging. Scientists must carefully separate genuine memory from memories that were unintentionally created after the fact. Today, advances in brain imaging technology are helping researchers explore this mystery more deeply than ever before. By observing how memory systems develop in young children, scientists are gradually uncovering the mechanisms behind infantile amnesia. Although many questions remain unanswered, one thing has become increasingly clear: the memories of our earliest years may not simply vanish. Instead, they become trapped behind the remarkable transformation of the developing brain. So the next time you look at a photo of yourself as a baby, remember that the person in that picture experienced an entire world that you can no longer consciously access. They learned, explored, laughed, cried, and discovered countless things for the first time. Those experiences helped create the person you are today, even if you can no longer remember them. The greatest mystery isn't that your baby memories disappeared. The greatest mystery is that they may still be there, hidden deep within the architecture of your mind, silently shaping your thoughts, emotions, and identity every single day. The first chapter of your life was never truly erased. It may simply be a chapter that your conscious mind can no longer read.